Hey everyone, and welcome to Phineas and Ferb Reviews. Today I'll be reviewing Busted at Last. What you doing? Sorry, couldn't resist. The synopsis of this episode said, Phineas and Ferb build a flying car, and Candace finally busts them. They get sent to reform school, and have their spirits broken, and imaginations removed. Sounds pretty cool, right? It was. This is one of my all-time favourites, next to Where's Perry Parts 1 and 2, that I'll be reviewing soon, hopefully. There was lots of character development for Candace in this episode, as she wasn't portrayed as a bratty little kid, but a responsible older sister that loves her brothers. It was revealed in this episode that she has always been proud to be their older sister. Now let's talk about Morty Williams, a snobby TV presenter that was actually useful for something. He acted as a pretty believable disguise for Candace when she was trying to bust her brothers out of the reformatory school, when the Trojan horse-style ideas all failed. It was also revealed that in this episode that Linda, aka Lindana, wouldn't particularly be okay with her sons building massive things in the backyard. Candace probably knows this. One of the funniest parts in this episode for me was when Candace was waiting for her mum to return and see the flying car of the future today. Oh, great magical being who maketh all things magically vanish before mum sees them, knock it off! I love that bit. As for the weirdest parts, nothing could beat the zebra and the Baljeet, Linda and Lawrence puppets. What's with that anyway? Now the only thing missing is the giant floating baby head. I think that a lot of fans will say that the saddest part of this episode was Candace's speech to turn the boys back to normal. The scene made me almost shed a tear. Almost. But what really threw me off was when Candace woke up. It was a dream, so none of that really happened. Not only that, but when she tells about Perry being an agent in her dream, a bunch of agents burst in, and then Perry wakes up. Am I the only one that thought, what the heck just happened? Isabella and Buford weren't in this episode, but Baljeet was, even if it was just in the dream. It made me laugh at how cheerful he was about going to reformatory school. Sure, they rip you down and strip you of your identity, but school is school. No one could beat Baljeet. Some fans say that if this episode actually took place in Candace's dream instead of Perry's, this would put an end to the overall plot of the show, considering that Candace would have finally realised that busting her brothers is a bad idea. But I would have to disagree. The show has more plots than just Candace trying to bust her brothers. They can still do it, but you know. Now, onto the songs. Let's start with Little Brothers, the first song so far to be sung by Stacey. This shows how Candace met baby Phineas, and how Phineas and Candace met Ferb. It also shows lots of pictures of herself and the boys hanging out together, like a scene from Gitchy Gitchy Goo for example. Overall, that song was very heartwarming. The next one was ridiculously cheerful. The Good Life showed Candace having tons of fun with Jeremy and Stacey, instead of busting Phineas and Ferb. There's not much else to say about this one really, except that it was voted number 4 in the Clicktastic Countdown. And last of all, Chains on Me, which happens to be one of my favourites for some reason. To be honest, I hated it because I found it really depressing, but now I really like it. Maybe because it's its jazz type flair that it has. Dan Povenmire, aka the voice of Doofenshmirtz, as the big fans will know, sang this song, and he used his wild parsnip voice. So anyway, overall, I would give this episode a rating of 5 Perrys, for its creativity, imagination, catchy songs, and the ability to make my score seem awesome in comparison. Anyway, Mihano 100 is out. Peace!